Morning, Jess. It's good to have the little Toyotas out on track and good to have Murph in the commentary box for their first race of the season. It's the former champ on pole alongside the very fast and young Ryan Yardley. We've got Will Brown from Australia. You may recognise that name inside row 2. And plenty of youngsters in the field. Drew Ridge, another Aussie outside row 5. We'll check out the rest of the field. 17 cars on the grid. John Penny, one of the more experienced guys out there fighting for the Masters Cup. And we'll have Miles Cockram off the back. The good news is Jacob Smith, who had that nasty crash yesterday, that car is fixed, Murph, and ready to go.
And by the size of the way the accident looked, you'd be excused for thinking that wasn't going to happen. But the tyres down there, the double line of tyres did an amazing job. The wall got a big shove. The concrete wall got a bit of a shove, but the damage to that was pretty much cosmetic, really, wasn't it, Chad? And those boys managed to be out of here early last night and away from the track, and he's on the grid. So great to see that one. There was plenty of action yesterday in qualifying, and it was caught short by that accident by Smith. But they're all lining up today. He's just ready to load up the clutch on the handbrake there. That was grid 4. Was that Will Brown?
That was Will Brown inside row 2.
So they get ready.
Australian points.
Tricky conditions out there too, Chad, this morning. We've seen a shower of rain, but TR86 ready to go.
I wonder what tyre choice they went with at the last minute. Slicks or wets, it's a tough call. We're racing season 2016-17 for the Mighty 86ers, season 4. This side of the Tasman underway. Will Brown eyeing off the leaders through turn 1. He got a great start, but no way through. Tricky conditions up on the curbs, trying to give each other some space.
That was a good point you made there right at the start. In Australia, there's only one tyre for the TR86. Here in New Zealand, we've got the slick, and we also then have the wet because of that. So it looks to me, though, the track has dried very quickly. It was quite a heavy shower, but it was very short. And they're weaving all over the place. Probably still trying to get some tyre temperature too, I'd say.
Yardley will hold on to second here.
Oh, they run wide. Is that Milligan? I think it's crossed the grass.
A few of them going to take the shortcut here.
23 McConkey. He'll join back up. It's the scene of the Sangyong Newton accident there. Still plenty of debris on the road. From the inside of the wet infield here at Pukekohe after very fickle weather. But as you can see, nothing much out there at the moment. And the sky from the west isn't looking too bad. So they run through.
It was pouring down less than 10 minutes ago.
Oh, that's New Zealand for you. Just wait 2 seconds and it'll change.
But it looks, looks remarkably dry on the track considering.
It's completely dry. So no question about the tyre choice. If you have gone with the wet weather tyre, you'll be hoping that more rain does come. But at the moment, very dry. Blew it. Just streaking them. The experience he has, the champion, is really showing here at Pukekohe. First up, John Penny there making a move in between 3 and 4. So Yardley was very wide. Brown tried to get a run. That's McConkey heading off. The Albany Toyota entry, looking like the Castrol Rally cars of old. Fantastic livery.
Makes it look like Salika's. The old GD4s, what a great car they were.
Look at the different lines between these two. Brown really using the curb, hustling it, and gets the better run at the exit of 6, but can't do anything about it. Yardley still trying to find his rhythm there. I'm interested to watch it.
Oh, here we go. That's not the spot you want to be around. We've proved that today. Whoa, man, that was Cockram going backwards, sideways, out of control. Got away with it.
And Ransley didn't know where to go. He was caught out there. The young Carter having his first meeting in a car this weekend. They streamed through, but I'll just make a comment on Will Brown's steering. How he steers the car and where he puts his hands. He moves his hands quite a lot around the steering wheel, which is probably not the normal way to do it, but I can't criticise him too much because he's very fast, although there he sort of misguided the gear stick a little bit, down to 3rd gear. You see his hands there, he's moved them around the wheel. I wouldn't say that's the traditional racing driver technique, but anyway, it seems to be working for him.
Okay, so what happened here?
It's got wide in the grass.
So slippery out there, and it's actually off camber as well, so the back end of the car just falls away. He's got his foot in it, willing it to come back on.
Willing it to come back on, didn't quite help right enough. Replay from the other angle, he was well wide.
Oh, right in front of Connor Adam.
And Ransley was lucky to avoid, not knowing which way that car was going to go.
Oh, Ransley goes left, Connor Adam, another kart driver, goes right. It's his first weekend in cars this weekend too, just 17 years old.
And this is the idea of this championship, no doubt about it, is to feed young talent from the likes of Carney into a one-make championship that, you know, you've got a direct comparison with the guys at the front. Everyone's got the same equipment. That's what I love about one-make racing, and the TR86 class is providing a brilliant stepping stone, no question.
So what will happen, Murph, hypothetically, if it was to pour midway through this race and everyone's on slicks? Pointing that out,
hypothetically, it makes our job pretty exciting, I think, Chad. Listen, no, there's no pit stops obviously allowed. The crews aren't set up for that, so it'll be a matter of dealing with it, and then it'll be up to the officials to decide if it's too dangerous to continue, and then they'd get a red flag. So that is the situation, and you know, when you've got a category that runs two different tyres, you know, the slick here works great on these cars. It puts them, it makes them very edgy, very, very edgy. And so when they do let go, and we saw a bit of that yesterday in practice, when the little wheelbase of the TR86 gives way, or the tyre gives way, it's very, very tricky. As McConkey again gone for the straight line, which he'll have to go through the chicane this time, which is the slow way through. But yeah, with the short wheelbase, when these cars let go, trying to collect it and correct the steering to try and straighten them up, a difficult thing to do as they race through the hairpin side by side.
Oh, here we go.
Bit of touching Lockwood.
Here we go.
And Stokes. They're going to go through and try. Stokes is going to try and go around the outside. Oh. He does. They run side by side up the hill. You won't see that in a supercar.
Boy, good racing.
Great racing. Back fighting there for 8th position.
Stokes getting the advantage over Lockwood. He sets his sights now on trying to get back up to Lightfoot. They were side by side through 5 and 6 last time, which is what left him vulnerable.
Everyone doing a really nice job. I'll probably just now put the mocker on them, but so far keeping it pretty clean, especially through this area. The 2, 3, 4 exiting onto the back straight where we saw plenty of action yesterday. And that's where Jacob Smith got it all wrong. Locked up the rears and rotated into the tyre barrier.
Oh,
sideways, no room there. He's got to go.
Oh, no.
They're both going to be in the fence hard.
Jeez, that's a
massively
big crash.
Hard.
Oh, no. Stokes, it's not over yet.
And then
McConkey did a good job.
Now, that's racing room not being given. That's over-aggressive. We'll have another look at it. The safety car, I'm pretty sure, is going to be deployed. Yes, it has. So, incredibly disappointing. Lightfoot, huge amount of damage. There's going to be some interesting chat going on up in the officials' box.
Yeah, Tom
Here
Stokes.
we go. So, Lightfoot, he had room here. Stokes got a good run. And he should have been given... Now, well, from that angle, that looks to me he probably should have been given some room with the overlap. Lightfoot may not have known he was there, or how much of an overlap he had.
Wow.
But he did move across, and it's got a curve in the back straight, which isn't straight, obviously. So,
oh dear, that's a big hit for both drivers.
I did speak too soon.
Yeah,
just from memory. That was only a few seconds before that.
We're being well behaved. It was just unfortunate. Stokes had a lot of overlap down on that right-hand side.
Well, it was an increasing overlap, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He had a decent run.
The catch fence did a really good job at bringing a lot of that debris back down. It went a bit Coulthard there, jumping over the wheel mid-accident. McConkey did a good job to get through that one.
So here we go. This is from the front again. Stokes got a clean run out of there. Now, just looking inside the cabin, what did Lightfoot? He was moving. Is that? And that's not really the line either. That's not the line that you sort of take through there. So they're going to have to decide if he moved over on purpose or not. But the black Stokes number 6 in the Resine car, he did have his nose coming up alongside and it ran out of space. So I think, is Michael right? He's out of the car, probably a bit shaken about that, as you could expect.
It's absolutely an accident. No driver wants to see race cars get damaged like this.
The rear wheel torn right off Stokes' car there, was still hanging on by a suspension.
The rear spoiler off Lightfoot's car got up and hit the 100-metre board above the catch fence.
So not a great way to start for the TR86 race 1, the season. These guys, it's their only appearance today, so there's plenty of time before race 2 tomorrow morning to hopefully get these cars repaired.
Second season for Tom Stokes, 21 years of age. He actually raced in the North Island Endurance Series this year through winter just to stay sharp.
Which is a pretty popular series too now. It's in a lot of racing, a lot of miles being done by a lot of drivers in that. So good on them for finding some other cars to get out and get some practice in. Here's the other angle. Starts to get the overlap just before that point there.
You can see what Lightfoot's trying to do. He's trying to cover off and be defensive, so he had the inside for the next corner.
That's what it looked like. Yeah.
But
I'm fully convinced that he was absolutely aware of where Stokes was at that point, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that one.
It's so hard. If you've ever driven a race car, you've been hooked up to a HANS device, you're wearing a helmet, seat belts, you can't just look over your shoulder like you can on a highway to see if anyone's there. You don't have that amount of vision. Watch the rear spoiler go up there. Knocks the rear window out. I mean, we've seen some pretty big crashes in the 86s, and they wear it so well.
Well, they're
such a well-built car.
They are built very well. I mean, both the New Zealand and Australian cars built to very, very high standards. All the latest safety equipment as far as seats and belts and design of the cages. So they are well prepared for it. We don't want to see it, but in this case, both drivers walking away. Time. See, Lightfoot's car, really, it was just a small rub there, and it was not much more to it. But Stokes on the grass at that point, losing control, full throttle.
Lucky that no more cars were caught up in this one. Watch how fast it happens.
Yep. That'll go to the highlights reel.
Yeah, hearing both drivers out of their cars, which is great news.
The safety crew's doing a very good job, and the truck's away before the deck's even down. So
that's speedy.
They want to get this race underway again. Want to see some more racing laps.
I think it's raining, Murph, as well back there.
Could well be. Weekend as they get ready for the restart. Blewett leads them. They stream through. Safety car's still on the track. It's now in the lane.
Well, it was bad news for Blewett. He had a nice 1 second lead over Yardley and Brown. Tyres go cold again.
You got to remember, that's right. Again, on the slick tyre, there's a bit more work to do to maintain that temperature. They go now. Blewett hits the throttle.
Good restart from the leader. Did a really nice job to open that gap up. We're racing once again. First race of the 2016-17 summer. For the mighty little Toyota 86 through the first corner goes the reigning champ. Looking for battles a bit further back. There's Drew Ridge, the second Aussie in the field. Races these things back home from the Central Coast. And that really brought him back into contention here as well, closing the field up a little bit.
The snake down the straight, the back straight. They're all trying to gain that tiny little bit extra speed. But Blewett, he hasn't got much of a lead. John Penny behind Lockwood, who's made a good gain sideways. Someone's gone straight ahead again.
Relatively clean. Thankfully, we continue. Must be frustrating going through the Century Factory chicane there.
Slow too, absolutely slow. I sort of went a bit deep yesterday doing a bit of a lap in the Freightliner entry of Tim Slade, and actually had to go through there myself. So, and I actually had to miss the last one because I didn't know it was there. It was way too tight to navigate, so I went on the grass instead. This race is on for the lead. Yardley has a bit of a glance across in his left-hand mirror to see where Brown is. And I can tell you he's only 3 tenths behind him. So, it's not even 3 tenths.
Oh, he's wide, Yardley.
He runs wide, Yardley. As he clips the curb. Now, Brown's going to be on the outside. Will he try to flick back? He's going to get a run here. He did very well. I still can't work out his hands on that steering wheel, though. It's got me absolutely... Look, he's going, go, go, go.
No.
More in the fence.
Oh, it's Smith again. And this time...
after that massive fix-it job and the number 11, Cockram.
Hopefully they can get those cars moving.
Look at Brown.
Stay green because
he's going to go to the outside. Will you be able to pull it off?
Hang in there, Will. No, safety car boards. Got him.
Well picked.
Oh, and he bailed out of it.
I reckon he might have just about had that.
Oh,
He certainly would have slowed up Yardley for the next phase.
oh no, it's just now we've got two of these Castrol cars. Need to see the number. It's Drew Ridge, the lanky 17-year-old.
And we're losing them like flies at the moment. I now really regret saying how good a job they were all doing. I think it's all my fault.
What has happened to Ridge? Did you see where those tie marks were? That was a weird one. Okay. So he's gone side. Oh,
So Smith, innocent, completely innocent. But then he got joined, didn't he? Did he get joined after this? Yes, he did. Oh, how lucky was that the contact wasn't made as he was going past. But there's damage on that didn't come from the tyres, so I wouldn't have thought. Anyway. Right, she's a bit of a wrecking yard.
There's a clearance sale on Toyota 86s outside of Auckland today.
I think there's a dealership here in Pukekohe. They might be quite busy.
That's unfortunate for Smith because they hurt the left-hand side of that car yesterday. And now it's got the right-hand side as well.
Yeah. Might be unexpected interest in the parts department here at the local dealership for TR86 components.
Ridge didn't quite make it up the back straight with that damage.
Based on this, I can't see us getting any more racing laps, Chad, which is unfortunate.
He nearly had it. What were we saying yesterday about overcorrection?
Smith, there it is. And that's that difficulty in the and just judging the right amount of steering input, which is so hard.
That's the most impressive parallel parking I've ever seen.
Unintentional.
Oh, there's a wheel to wheel as well, which is never good. If you no longer go for gap,
man,
as Ayrton Senna would say. What a first race of the year, Murph. Wow.
Yep, Ash Blewett has stayed out of trouble.
He's still got 17 races to go.
That's right.
This championship.
And we're just starting to see now, as this race concludes, a bit of a weather change out there.
Probably a good thing, safety cars out there.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good thing.
Yeah. It's getting pretty heavy out there now. And it's going to be like this all day. We're going to get little isolated showers. Being on the right tyre at the right time will be critical. You know what's really ironic? At the press conference at the Gold Coast 600, Van Gisbergen said, I'm really looking forward to New Zealand because there's no chance of stacking because there's no pit stops.
Yeah. Well,
that watch what happens.
That might be true if the weather stays the same all the way through. But if we have one of these showers a few laps into the start of one of these races, there's going to be no option but to head for the pit lane. So
thankfully, stacking on a tyre stop isn't so bad. And we're going to get early checkers here. That's the right call. Well, that was an exciting start to the season. We've got 23 races to get through here this weekend at Pukekohe. And the first three have been highly dramatic.
Have delivered. If you've tuned up nice and early this morning, you're getting your money's worth from the support categories here for the ITM Auckland Super Sprint.
Ash Blewett, who did anything but Blewett in that first one. Great drive to keep the number one on the door this year, maybe. He's going to do TRS as well, Ash, so good luck to him in that single-seater campaign. Will Brown wrapping up the three. And the heartache stories the whole way through the field down to Tom Stokes, so we really hope he's okay up